Governor, there are some folks who see some of these incredible historic maneuvers that you are making as inappropriate. They say that you are doing too much for black folks and making too much of race. And then I've had a question for Pharrell, if you don't mind.
Yes, good. So you would like me to comment, are we doing too much? We still have so much to do, Andre, and this is just another step in the right direction of I think, really telling the history, the wrong history of Virginia, 400 years, and really, and I think Delegate Herring, I appreciate your words. As she said, we're at an intersection, Andre. She called it a crossroads. Our society and being leaders here in the Commonwealth of Virginia, we can either go one way and continue the divisiveness, or we can go the other way and start healing and unifying and bringing people together, because there's a lot of the powerful words you've heard up here this afternoon. That's the only way that we can survive as a society and as a Commonwealth and as a country. And so this is just a step. I continue to listen. I continue to learn. As you've heard me say, the more I know, the more we know, the more we can do, and so that's really our goal as we move forward. And you have a question for Mr. Williams.
Yes, Pharrell, for the young people who say that they didn't get guidance from the older generations, our generations and those before, and now they are figuring this thing out on the fly. They're doing it their way and by any means necessary. What would you say to the young people who feel as though they've got to figure this out on their own?
I don't know that they have to figure it out on their own, but I'm incredibly proud that they are grabbing the bull by the horn the best way that they can. Every generation has a different point of view, and I think we all have to respect that. The millennials and the Gen Zers, they're going to be the ones that are going to figure this out ultimately. But in the interim, it's our responsibility while we have the opportunity, and while I have a voice, I know that it is not only my moral and spiritual obligation, but it's also my genetic obligation to make sure that I'm aiding them and aiding my culture as much as I can. Now I'm excited to do that. This is a long time coming. And as I said before, this is not ending something. This is the beginning of something much bigger and much greater. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Pharrell.
We'll take a question from Whitney Evans with VPM.
Hi, Governor. A new study published today shows that children and teens are half as likely to get COVID-19. Does this influence your plans for reopening schools and daycares?
I'm not sure I heard the first part of your question. I think what you're saying is that children and teens are still likely to contract COVID-19. You know,
There's a new study published today.
Yes, just.
I'm sorry, there's a public study.
Yes, the question about children and teens, and not to get into a thorough detail of COVID-19 again, but we are seeing what is happening across this country with surges. I am pleased that Virginia is where we are today, but as we move forward, we need to do it responsibly. As I've said all along, we need to use science, we need to follow our data. And you know, as a physician who has taken care of children for over 30 years, we are seeing cases of children that are affected by the COVID-19 and affected quite adversely. And so as a physician, as the governor, I've said this before, we have a health crisis. We also have an economic crisis. But in order to move on to our economy, we've got to get this health crisis under control and behind us. And so that's what I'm committed to doing. Cam, you had a question?
I was going to say, you mentioned the troubling videos and that you'd be investigating.
Yes.
Can you elaborate on what videos you're referring to and what exactly your administration will be investigating and potentially doing as a result?
Well, what I was referring to, obviously there are a lot of troubling videos from across the country and across the world for that matter, but concentrated on Virginia and specifically here in Richmond. as I said last night, the state police was asked to come in and support the Richmond Police Department. They agreed to do that. I have watched some of the videos. I want to continue to review them. I want to reach out and discuss this further with the police departments, and we will move forward together. So that's what I was referring to.
And if I could follow up
Sure.
on COVID-19, what has been compliance been so far with your mask mandate? Has VDH gotten any complaints? Have they issued any of these Class 1 misdemeanors to anyone who might have been reported?
No, to the best of my knowledge, we haven't issued any Class 1 misdemeanors. But I would say, Cam, I was in Newport News this morning for a jobs announcement. I'm starting to get out, travel more. As you know, I've been to the ocean front. I'm pleased with what I see so far. Obviously, not everybody is complying, but I think the great majority of Virginians understand what we're up against. They understand the importance of the social distancing, the wearing of the facial protection, and the cleaning of our hands. And if we're going to move forward, if we're going to go into phase 3 and beyond, we've got to accept that this is going to be the new normal until we either have a vaccination or a treatment, neither of which we have today. So overall, I'm pleased with the way Virginians, and again, if you look at the other states, Cam, and obviously I'm proud to be a Virginian. I think we live in the best state in the best country. We're in a good place right now, but we need to maintain that status, and in order to do that, we've got to continue to follow the guidelines.
The next question will be from David McGee with the Bristol Herald-Courier.
Yes, thank you, Governor. In light of all the demonstrations and marches and large gatherings of significant numbers of people, many of them who apparently are not wearing masks, how concerned is your administration that this may cause a spike in COVID-19 cases in the next few weeks?
Yeah, the question is about protesters not maintaining social distancing, a lot of them not wearing masks. It is concerning to me, and a couple of things. I have encouraged folks that choose to protest, which is their right here in this Commonwealth and in this country, to please think about themselves, think about their families, think about others who are around them, and follow our guidelines. And I have also encouraged them, and I will do it again. We have a number of testing sites across Virginia, and if you have been out in the public and perhaps could have been exposed to COVID-19, please stop by one of our community testing sites and be tested. So I will continue to encourage that. Thank you all again for being with us today. This is a meaningful day, a historic day for the Commonwealth of Virginia. And on behalf of Virginia, I hope you can see all of the folks that are with us today that really want to take that turn at that intersection and bring people together to stop the divisiveness and make a Commonwealth of Virginia that is truly inclusive, that is truly welcoming, no matter who you are, no matter where you come from, the color of your skin, who you love. We welcome you here to the Commonwealth of Virginia, and we're going to continue to move forward together. So thank you all, and I will look forward to being with you on Thursday. We'll talk more about what Phase 3 looks like at that time, but in the meantime, be safe and stay healthy. Thank you.